Hey everyone, Giancarlo Veronini here in San Francisco, California for a Dead Space 2 event. I'm joined by Scott Probst, producer on Dead Space 2. He's going to talk to us a little bit about the multiplayer mode in the game. Now, obviously, the original Dead Space was just a single-player affair. Multiplayer is a pretty big deal. How do you make this work?
So I think from the beginning of the game and the beginning of development, what we've done is we've looked at all the different games that have a great multiplayer experience. Some of the franchises that were built on multiplayer and also some of the franchises that were built on single player and expanded into multiplayer. And what we've done is we've taken all the things that we felt were great mechanics from each one of those games and incorporated them into Dead Space 2 in a way that it feels like Dead Space 2. It's the core of the experience. It's not something that's separated from the fiction.
So what would you say is the one thing that you guys definitely wanted to capture about the single-player experience and bring that into the multiplayer?
I would say, basically capturing all of the unique elements of the Sprawl from an aesthetic standpoint is a big point, and then also the action and the terror that you bring, right? Playing as Necromorphs, the ability to kind of move around as all the different Necromorph types and attack the humans in so many different ways is a huge gameplay component. So kind of having that balance of playing as the Sprawl security team, the humans, and then having the ability to play as that dark side of the Necromorphs has been huge.
So break down the details a little bit for us in terms of, so it's a team play system. You can play as the Necromorphs, or at least what we're seeing here today is a team play system. Play as the Necromorphs, or you can play as the security team. Can you also tell us a little bit about the first map that we've seen so far?
Absolutely. So you hit it on the head. It's very team-based, right? It's a cooperative-based multiplayer experience where the Sprawl security team needs to work together in order to defeat the Necromorphs. So with the map that you're playing today, that's called the Titan Mines map, and the humans, the Sprawl security team, their objective is to find 3 different bomb components, acquire those components, and bring them back to a shock mine, which will eradicate the Necromorph force and basically blow an escape door that will allow the humans to get out. And on the Necromorph side, their objective is to basically stalk, trap, and devour the humans, let the time run out, and kill them.
Let's talk a little bit about the abilities that each of the sides have. Obviously, the security team kind of has, sort of the typical Isaac weaponry and things like that. But the Necromorphs also have their own sort of unique set of moves and things like that you've probably seen in the single player, but now you can control them.
Absolutely, and that's a huge thing, right? I mean, we've talked to a lot of people between the community and people who've come in and play tested the game, and one of the number one pieces of feedback was always, give me the ability to play as a Necromorph, right? That's a big sell point. People want to play as Necromorphs. They want to be the bad side. They want to be those guys taking out the Sprawl security team. So what we've done is we've taken the Necromorphs that we feel map best to multiplayer and have unique core components to them that play into different playstyles. So we have the Pack, who's your short-range melee character. We have the Lurker, who's a long-range character but has the ability to wall walk and hide up on perches in different areas of the map. And we have the Spitter, who's, obviously the full-grown female Spitter who's spewing toxic spit at players. And then we have the Puker as well, who's your kind of short-range, more powerful, full-size Necromorph that can get in there and do a lot of damage.
One of the things that we've noticed right away, and I think you already mentioned this a little bit, was just that team play is so very important. If you split up on either side, your chances of success are sort of lessened quite a bit.
Absolutely. And we have an entire metagame system that kind of builds into the core components of cooperating and team play. So you have things like cooperative heals, when you actually use a quick heal to heal yourself as a Sprawl security team. If you have your teammates around you, it will heal them as well, and that will actually give you XP points that build into the metagame. So we have these kind of components that build into the metagame and give players the experience and the ability to, basically reinforce the cooperative mechanics. And as you said, if you kind of single file in there as any one of the sides, good luck.
And what sort of things do you unlock? I think we saw already that you can sort of unlock weapons as your level increases.
Yep, so on the Sprawl security side, you'll have one entire metagame that feeds into both the Sprawl security, the human side, as well as the Necromorph side. So you will unlock things on the Sprawl security side, such as weapons, suit skins, abilities for those weapons. And on the Necromorph side, you will actually unlock abilities that build on the core components of the characters. So for instance, you have the Pack, who's your short-range melee character, and you might have an unlock that increases their melee damage.
And we're also going to be able to take a look at a second map tonight. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, we're not getting into too many details about that map, but that map is called Escape, and the basic objective of that map is for the humans to breach access to new areas throughout the map, and then eventually get to some escape pods which have been powered down and power on, basically prime the power for these escape pods and get the hell out of town.
And what are we looking at in terms of the overall release date for Dead Space 2 as well as the platforms?
So Dead Space 2 will be out January 25th, 2011.
Great, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, really appreciate it.
Stay tuned at GameSpot for more coverage of Dead Space 2.